A little bit now on Dirt 5 and Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2010. This is gonna be a comparison, the different types of content, right? The mechanics, and like, share, subscribe. Pretty soon I'm gonna have this name change, right? I don't really like my name like for the channel. It's very hard to come up with a name. It's so hard to come up with a name. But yeah, pretty soon I'm gonna have a name change. So yeah, and Dirt 5 is a more recent game. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. This is kind of, it's a remastered for the original limited edition for the PS3. And I like both covers, right? But it's the same game. It's just that at this one, both of them gives you all the same content. It's just better graphics in this one. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy the comparison here. Thanks for watching. Yeah, so Dirt 5 is more a slower pace type racer, more off-road type racing, with more heavier duty cars, off-road cars, trucks. There's trucks involved. There's off-road sedan vehicles, muscle cars. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit is more, like when you get though, it's more a faster pace type racing, more exotic elite cars, Paganis, the Lamborghinis, the Ferraris, and lots of different classes. Both games have separate classes, but yeah, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit is a lot faster pace, a lot more faster pace racing. The cars will feel more lightweight. Dirt 5 is a lot more heavyweight, the cars feel more heavier, like to turn and all that. Both games are surprisingly, it is not the easiest to drift. Dirt 5, like when you change the controls to, let's say, like if you're on R2 to accelerate, I change it to X and circle because it is a lot easier to track and remember. So yeah, you would press the, I tap on the brake to basically, what do you call it again? A drift. But yeah, both games, relies heavily like on drifting. More so like in a Dirt 5 because the tracks are more tighter. They're a lot more. Well, not really tighter. They're shorter, and there's more turns. There's more turns. And Need for Speed Hot Pursuit will have more straight roads, and you're racing like on highways as opposed to like off road type, dirt type areas, or near a swamp, like areas and all that. A little bit like in the cars. So I mentioned before, Dirt 5 has a lot of different, classes of cars. But for the most part, Dirt 5, it's more off-road type. So you have the muscle cars, you have the trucks, you have the, pickup trucks, you have the main type of sedan type cars, you have like an alternate muscle car types, and you have as well the fast cars. Dirt 5 has as well exotic cars, like you'll have an Aston Martin too in it. But yeah, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2 or Hot Pursuit 3, sorry. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, it has a lot more like faster pace, like those exotic cars. Like I said before, there's the the main class of cars at the default class. You have like a more advanced class. You have super class, exotic. Then you have the super rare type of vehicles. Like the rare is like the Bugattis. What do you call it again? The Bugattis, the Koenigseggs, the McLarens, the Lamborghini Reventana, and yeah. So a little bit more now on content. So content, Dirt 5, you are doing more relay. So there's more a variety of content. Like let's say Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, because there's more in terms of a time trials. You have a rapid responses, and as well you can play as police and racer. So the police will have its own progression. At the racer side, that will have its own. Sometimes in Dirt 5, there are like these different types of points type arcade. So you basically have to drift. So like when you drift on this, there be kind of like a pinball or whatever. You gotta drift around this one thing, and the longer you drift, the more points you get. Or there's ramps you gotta go up to. Up on the higher you go, like on the ramps, the easier it is to the more points you get, right? So yeah, and rapid with Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, you'll have other things too, like with a rapid responses, is like yeah, you're the police officer, and then you have to basically race to this one point, and whenever you hit the side of the road, you basically lose time. So you lose time. There's a certain time limit. There's other ones too where you basically get there's the a normal a type of races, right? A normal type of races. There's laps. A pursuit that doesn't have laps. It's just one race. If it's a race, it's just one lap. There's just one lap all the time. But yeah, there's chases. There's sometimes that where you play as a racer. There's the police chasing you. There's another time where you are the police chasing the racers or multiple racers, or you'll be like in a race while the police are chasing you. So there's lots of variety, tons of variety in Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. There's other ones too where it's like a time. It's just like a time trial where you are racing a vehicle that you haven't unlocked yet, and like the faster you do it, the more likely you are to get that gold type medal or whatever. And every event has a certain medal associated with it, depending on how good you do. A little bit like on a Dirt 5. So again, a Dirt 5 will have laps. So like I said before, like a 1 lap, 2 lap, you have to do the race twice or 3 times, 4 times. There's even shorter races, shorter tracks. The tracks are a little bit more. No, the maps they stand out more in Dirt 5. I feel they stand out more. Like there's a track where it's just like this track is basically shaped like an oval. So like you basically have to race around this track 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's very fast. It's a very fast type. It's like a 30 seconds each lap per lap. And yeah, but it's all about drifting. This is all about a drifting type thing. And yeah. Yeah, so like overall replayability. So like replayability, Dirt 5 and Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, I feel like is more replayable because again, you're getting more abilities. There's just more overall like to the game. More abilities, spike strips. What do you call it again? EMPs, helicopters. Dirt 5 it doesn't really have that, and as well with Need for Speed, you can play as a cop as well as a police racer as well, right? So yeah, so there's two perspectives. Dirt 5 is only giving you from the racers perspectives, right? Even though Dirt 5 there is no police, there is no traffic, right? But yeah, overall replayability, and as well Need for Speed does have a lot more like main content, side content. But a Dirt 5, however, it is always fun to go back and play like the overall races and to try and practice and the tracks and the laps, because I feel like Dirt 5 does have overall better mechanics. The mechanics feel more smoother. It is more smoother in Dirt 5. And yeah, but even though like the races, they are longer in Hot Pursuit, right? The races are longer and it's measured by kilometers. The races, however, they do drag on more. Overall, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit does have more replayability